Some of you may disagree with me, but Malaysians in general aren't a bad bunch. No, we are not the most overly conscientious people in the world, but at least we are kind of civil to each other. Until that is, you give any of us a car. And then we turn into this.
No stop signs, speed limit. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Like a wheel, gonna spin it. Nobody's gonna mess me around.
Yes, Malaysians are absolutely terrible drivers and are even worse at parking if that was even possible. I know telling you all this is nothing new. You are probably going, hot take there, Nadia. Next, you were going to tell me that the Kardashians are evil, Taylor Swift is overrated, and incest is apparently romantic in Game of Thrones. Don't lie. I know you were rooting for them. Never mind that she's his aunt, by the way. It has become such a normality that we are almost indifferent to the stats released each year about the increase in road deaths. Like, would you be surprised to learn that in 2016, over 7,000 people died on the road, a 6.7% jump from the year before? Or that the World Health Organization rated Malaysia as the third riskiest road among emerging nations? Or that this happens?
Minta kad. Mana kad? Kau okay you.
Charming. Clearly that woman is off her nut, but is there an actual psychological reason why all of us turn irrational the minute we get behind a wheel? Apparently there isn't just one reason, there's a whole bunch of them. It's called traffic psychology, and decades of research show that poor driving is more than just carelessness or people being d***s. Even the most skilled drivers are not immune to lapses in judgment. According to that 2013 Guardian article, the reasons range from drivers failing to realize they're being aggressive or that they are safer drivers than they actually are. Research has also found that drivers readily dehumanize other drivers and pedestrians in a similar way that happens online, where your very nice, pleasant neighbor turns out to be a racist conspiracy bigot. But even more interestingly, while we dehumanize people, we still act according to some kind of ingrained social hierarchy. So all the inherent prejudices and latent racism that we all have come out when you are behind a massive moving weapon. You know what they call that, right? Being North Korea. Aggressive behavior is more likely when we believe that we are the more important driver, and we make those judgments based on the most superficial of things: gender, the size and type of car, and even whether that car is old or new. It was found that drivers of more expensive cars are more likely to behave aggressively towards pedestrians. You know them, right? The assholes who flash their lights at you because they are in such a hurry to get somewhere, because clearly they're curing cancer or something, right? And in retaliation, smaller cars think it's their right to zip in and out of small spaces because they can, as a middle finger to that driver in the Bentley, or park really far back to make you think that the space is available. Even when it comes to parking, most of us have something called the fundamental attribution error, where we blame people's mistakes on them being inconsiderate while rationalizing our own. Most common example, double parking, where we curse people that do it because they narrow the roads and choke traffic, but at the same time, we do it ourselves because we believe we can get in and out in 2 minutes flat. So, knowing all this, what do we do now? The easiest, of course, is heavier fines and more police enforcement. Basically, no more slap on the wrist, no more coffee payments, which don't really benefit the people and just make you drive angrier rather than better. However, the truth is, it would just not be realistic. It is not humanly possible to have police fine every inconsiderate driver that forgets where his turn signal is. So if that doesn't work, what else is there? Some have suggested that instead of automatic renewal of licenses, drivers need to resit their tests, which would help remind them that the emergency lane is not your grandfather's road. Or maybe there is something that is a mix of both. In UK, they have the National Driver Offender Retraining Scheme, which, as the name suggests, makes people go for a course in lieu of a fine or jail. They have to pay for the classes themselves, and results about its long-term effects are promising. But maybe what is needed is something more drastic. Just get rid of drivers entirely. As the sophistication of automated cars increase, maybe we will soon not have those problems anymore. Another set of problems, yes, but never mind, that's another thing. Take the emotional aspect out of driving, and this need to be like number one, and logic-wise, our roads should be safer. Can you imagine it? No accidents, people being civil to each other the way they are face to face. Well, unless someone designs a car horn that emits a curse word every time you press it. But let's just cross that bridge when my patent comes back from the patent office. Just say it.